Hi, and welcome again to this latest episode of La Plata Ward 4 Update Podcast. This is a video that complements my podcast. So again, this is Dave Jenkins, La Plata Town Council Member 1 from Ward 4, and your host for this video and podcast. So first of all, I hope everybody had a great Christmas, and now we look forward to a better and prosperous 2023. The purpose of this video is to provide a status and update to the Heritage Green project. Please note that I did a video episode of this in March 14th, 2022, and that's available, and I can provide a link to that video as well. So again, this is an update to that project. Please note that the developer who purchased the property in August of 2020 is DR Horton, based out of Texas. And they have changed the name of the project from Heritage Green to Pinegrove. I don't know the reason for that, but they have changed that logo in the name of the project. And in fact, you probably have noticed recently the new entrance and the entrance signage that has now says Pinegrove. So just a brief summary of the project, and you can see it on the screen that I'm sharing with you as well. This is the what they call the master site development plan. So any future development or more detailed preliminary plans that are required for each neighborhood must comply with this overall master site development plan. So the property was annexed into the town in 1990. The site is approximately 1,021 acres in size, and it's a large piece, as you can see. It stretches from in the south, Route 6, where Charles Street, where my cursor is, and then extends all the way to the north and bounds on both sides of Rosewick Road, which is a county road and is the northern boundary. The eastern boundary is Hickory Ridge here and Agricopia, as well as existing La Plata High School in Mary Mutula. And the western boundary is the CSX Railroad property, or the CSX Railroad itself. So as you can see, it's a fairly large property. And again, the property was annexed in 1990. It's what we call TDX, a traditional mixed development use project. Under the current agreement, it cannot exceed 3,170 mixed residential units, which will be single-family detached, attached or townhouses, and duplex. And there will be a portion of the property that will have a commercial, retail, and office and other industrial uses. And I believe most of that, those uses are located in the north, on the north side of Rosewick Road, which is where my cursor is now. That's neighborhood Q. So they have a strict requirement. Specifically, the site has to retain 25% in open space. They are proposing 30%. And I want to now go into a little bit more detail of the more detailed project and engineering plans that have been approved so far on the property. First, as you may recall, last summer there was a large amount of construction at the intersection of the new first intersection of what they call the Plata Parkway with Charles Street and that new entrance. And then at the same time, there was construction of a main sewer line which runs along the eastern edge of the property where my cursor is. And so that's been under construction as well, as along with other water and sewer infrastructure. Please note that a preliminary forest conservation plan and forest land delineation have been reviewed and approved in accordance with state law. So the site, it proposes to clear 656 acres of forest, but will retain 246 acres in permanent forest conservation easements. They are also proposing 56 acres of reforestation or replanting, of which 12 acres will be replanted on the site, and 87 acres will need to be provided off-site. And also note that the location, the off-site plantings will have to be within the same watershed, and that has not been determined at this time, but they will have to replant that at a higher rate. So they're working on that as we speak. The development has also proposed a 20-acre school acre site, again as required by the annexation agreement. They're also proposing two alternative two sites for school sites, subject to this county's Board of Education approval, and that is ongoing as we speak. There's also a proposal for an interparcel connection from La Plata Parkway to Mary Matula and La Plata High School. And again, that is subject to the County Board of Education, since that's their particular roadway and it's a private roadway. But they're working with the County Board of Education to figure that out and to have the best connection. So again, this is an overall view of the Master Site Development Plan, and I just want to go back and summarize some key elements. Again, you can see the large amount of open space that will be retained, including non-tidal wetlands and floodplain, as well as the floodplain along Clark's Run Stream, which I'm showing in my cursor. There'll be three main access points to and from the site, which will offer residents and also people in La Plata different ways to get in and around La Plata. The first will be an intersection here at what we call St. Charles Parkway, Maryland Route 6, or Charles Street, opposite Willow Lane. And again, that intersection is currently under design according to state standards, and that is all being paid for, as well as all infrastructure is being paid for and funded by the developer. At the January 3rd, 2023 Planning Commission meeting, it was indicated that the intersection design, again at La Plata Parkway, Maryland 6, Charles Street, Willow Avenue, is actually under design by the state, and they hope to have that installed 1 year from now. So that will be a great news to alleviate any traffic concerns in the future. So once La Plata Parkway is constructed, it would go north. It would be a traffic circle at this area where my cursor is, and then it would branch off to what we call Heritage Green Parkway. That would exit the site, across the railroad tracks at an at-grade crossing. They're securing, again, reapproval of that from CSX Railroad, and would intersect with Washington Avenue, where there's currently an intersection, and connect with existing Heritage Green Parkway. Again, at some time in the future, there will probably be a traffic signal there as well. Please note that Washington Avenue is a county road, and again, the developer and the town are working together to coordinate that. This third entrance would, again, if you go up La Plata Parkway to the traffic circle, La Plata Parkway would continue, another traffic circle, and then extend all the way to north and intersect with Rosewick Road. So again, there'll be three major access points to the property over the course of the development. Is estimated probably a build out of anywhere from 10 to 13 years, and that's all dependent upon the economy and the housing market. But I just want to emphasize all the traffic is not coming out at one entrance. So it's a multi-entrance project. So let me refer very quickly then to the three neighborhoods that are were just approved. And what I mean by that, they have received grading and erosion control plan review and approval, forest and delineation, water and sewer, and stormwater management, and also meeting other state requirements. The first project I want to refer to is Neighborhood K, which is here where my cursor is. That's the southernmost portion. That was approved by the Planning Commission in August of 2021, and that will be the first connection along La Plata Parkway and then connect to the intersection with Charles Street. That's proposed for 176 single-family dwelling units, or 3.3 units per acre. As part of the development, they will be providing sidewalks, I believe 6 or 7 feet. It's all part of a larger trail system throughout the site. They will again be required to do forest and delineation, and that typically is a 2-to-1 ratio. And then again, that'll be the first neighborhood that will have an intersection with access to and from the site from the new intersection of Charles Street, La Plata Parkway, and at Willow Lane. So that's currently being developed, and I believe they're installing or constructing some model homes in that neighborhood. Now, the second neighborhood that was just recently approved, April 5th of 2022, and then they approved the plats at their January 3rd, 2023 meeting. Neighborhood O is here where my cursor is. That's proposed for 68 single-family dwelling units or 7.0 dwelling units per acre. And please note that the overall development for the entire site will be a minimum of 6.5 dwelling units to the acre. Now, each neighborhood may vary, but the overall density has to remain at 6.5 dwelling units per acre. And again, all the streets are being designed according to the Charles County Street Design Manual, which the town has adopted. The access for this particular community O will be through an existing road called Poland Drive, Pollen, which is in Agricopia, and then also hopefully a future connection to the neighborhood to the north, neighborhood N to the north, which will then connect with La Plata Parkway. So in these developments, street trees are also required in landscaping. So according to the approval, the street trees in section O, there will be a total of 82 trees along the streets, as well as some open space. Open space will total 54% of the area, and they will preserve any on-site issues like floodplain, wetlands, and streams, and steep slopes to keep everything away from flowing into Clark's Run stream itself. Please note that construction vehicles which may enter or leave the site have to be covered by state law, so they don't leave debris on the roadway. The developer will be responsible for any damage to streets, and they are limited to hours of operation when they can enter and leave the site according to the town ordinance. I believe it says 7 o'clock during the weekday hours in the morning and 8 o'clock on Saturdays. So if there's any concern or issues, please contact the town planning office or planning director or the planning department if you have any concerns or complaints. And then finally, the final neighborhood that's currently under review and actually was just reviewed at the January 3rd, 2023 Planning Commission meeting is neighborhood O, which is neighborhood A, which is in the northern portion of the site where my cursor is now circling. That contains 35 acres. And they're proposing 236 attached dwelling units. And again, that's consistent with the master plan that you see on the screen. That's a density of 19 units per acre. And again, please note that the overall density must achieve 6.5 units to the acre. So again, these are townhouse units in section A, neighborhood A. Their primary access will be out to an internal roadway system to La Plata Parkway, which is here, which is under construction, and then eventually out to Rosewig Road. So that will utilize that other northern entrance, not using Charles Street or La Plata Parkway to the south. In this particular section, neighborhood A, they will be providing 157 street trees, as well as all the other requirements with respect to sidewalks and landscaping. So again, that's the latest for these three neighborhoods within now Pinegrove, formerly known as Heritage Green. And so I just wanted to bring this information to you, particularly after the last Planning Commission meeting this past Tuesday, which is January the 3rd. Now, all this information is available from the town website. Then go to departments, click Planning Department, and then there'll be a drop-down list. Go to Monthly Development Updates, and now that will provide you with all the site plans and all the information about Pinegrove, again previously known as Heritage Green, and all the other development that's going on in the town. That's available for you to look at, and this is the source of all my information that I'm talking about today. So again, I just wanted to come back and provide a brief video of this particular development and where they are today. Please, there will be additional updates, and I'll pass them on. And again, they'll be available on the Planning Department's monthly development updates, which are available from the town website. So thanks again for listening and watching. I appreciate your interest in these issues. I know there's a lot out there about these and other developments. So please let me know your questions or comments. Please email me at djenkins@townlaplata.org. Thanks again for listening, and Happy New Year, and look forward to your comments.